lowest income communities and our communities of color that are most impacted.
So, as somebody who lives in upstate South Carolina, I've never made a TikTok before, but I feel like it's important for me to do so right now because of this ignorance that has been going on in this country. As you can tell, I'm so angry about all of this BS that's been thrown up, making this whole natural disaster a partisan issue. No, I'm not breaking out because I have something wrong with me. I'm breaking out because I'm pissed and I'm pasty. So it is what it is. Just bear with me. So, on top of Kamala's little big one that she did, we have this lovely character. So I checked into his Twitter, or his X profile. He's from California. Wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that you're in California. That's essentially breaking off into the ocean anyway, but that's besides the point. My thing is that you don't know anything about living here, and you don't understand how much of the storm was not reported to us in an effort for us to evacuate, because we get warnings and watches all the time especially during hurricane season, saying that this is going to happen, and it never does. I'm sorry, have you heard of the boy who cried wolf? That's how it works here. Not to mention the fact that in Western North Carolina, a lot of that damage happened because dams broke, just like in Katrina. By no means was this our fault. It was a tragedy. It happened. It is what it is. Shit happens sometimes, and unfortunately, it happened during an election year, so everyone wants to try to be like, oh, well, MAGA said fake news. No, that's not what this is about. This is not a thing about equity, Kamala. This is not a thing about communities of people of color and marginalized communities and low-income communities. No. Please trust and believe that just because I am pasty does not mean that I have it better than any other person affected by this natural disaster. It was a hurricane. I haven't been able to work because my job has not had power. My husband is a first responder who has not been home since it started because A, we have no power, or we had no power until yesterday. B, he knows that if things pop off the way that they have been, then he's going to be needed. On the other side of that, my apartment complex, that, by the way, we still live in an apartment complex because we can't afford to get a house, even though I work 2 jobs, my husband works 2 jobs, we still can't afford that, but that's besides the point. The apartment complex that I live at is very diverse. We are all going through these same issues. We all have the same financial struggles. We all have the same necessity issues that we don't have access to, or we didn't have access to until we got power back yesterday. There are people that are on dialysis that could not refrigerate their medication. There are people who are pumping breast milk who could not save it for their kid because we didn't have power. But I say that knowing that we have it extremely lucky here. Yeah, we've been without gas, we've been without power, we had to throw away our food, all this kind of stuff. That's all fine and dandy. And I will take that, and I am thankful that that's all that we had. There are multiple counties that are still underwater. It is not a racial thing, Kamala. It's not an equity thing, Kamala. It's a people thing. And it would be really cool if you could, visit instead of just going to the FEMA office, which, by the way, my application is still being put under review, even though I don't know if our bills are going to get paid because I could not work. So, I mean, you do your big one trying to divide us more because I know that works well for you. But this is not a race thing. This is not a marginalized, oppressive thing. It's a thing that happens because shit happens sometimes. It would be really great if, I don't know, you can say whatever you want about Trump, but he showed up, didn't he? He came with Samaritan's Purse to Georgia. They're sending resources to North Carolina. I'm sure they're sending them here too. The fact that he actually came to hear the victims of this storm says a lot. And you just wanted to go to FEMA because God forbid someone ask you a question about your policy when they don't want to talk about the devastation of their homes anymore. They don't want to talk about the fact that they have nothing due to this storm. They don't want to talk about the fact that they can't find their families because they can't contact anybody. Where the hell are you? It is so obvious to me that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden don't give a damn about us. They're cool with sending trillions of dollars overseas in a war that we're not even fighting in. But God forbid things pop off in great old USA. Well, we set aside some funds. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate ya. This is not a white versus black versus brown versus purple versus green. It's not. It's not about who you love, who you sleep with. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your income level. We didn't leave because we weren't told to leave. We didn't leave because nothing ever happens here. We didn't leave because we thought it was fake news. We didn't leave because things like this don't happen here and don't happen in Asheville and don't happen in the different cities and states that are now underwater, that have so much devastation and lives lost because of the storm. It's not because of our political affiliations, douchebag. But y'all just keep on sending your trillions of dollars to Ukraine and to Gaza and funding this war that we're not even a part of instead of helping out the people that live here. I'm sure that there could be some finagling with one budget to another to, I don't know, help people. But what do I know? I'm just a white girl in the South. Y'all, be better. This is not a political thing. Like, the whole event is not a political thing. I'm ranting about it because it's been made a political thing. Do better, be better, and think very hard about who you're voting for, and think about who actually shows up. Thanks.